Hi, this is Jen with American Knitter, and today's project is how to crochet a cute little flower. So yes, I did say crochet and not knit. I personally enjoy knitting more than crocheting, but these are so easy and fun to make. Anybody can do it, so even if you're saying, but I knit, I don't crochet, this is really easy to learn, and they're a lot of fun to just add to your projects. So for example, I have this hat here, and I put this cute little pink crocheted flower on my knit beanie, and it just adds a fun little pop of color and just makes it a little cuter. So you can put them on headbands or bags or whatever. So be sure to comment and tell me what you're going to use your flowers for, because sometimes I make a lot of flowers, obviously, and I'm not sure what to do with them all. So be sure to like the video and comment on it, and also subscribe so that you get new video, and ring the bell so that you get the video updates as well. So to begin making a crochet flower, you can use any yarn you want. Small, big, bulky, whatever. You just have to use the right crochet hook. So for example, let's start with the big ones. So I have super bulky yarn, okay? So it's this yarn right here. It's the Lion brand super bulky, okay? So, and here's the yarn I used for it. And it's the exact same flower and pattern as these little ones right here, okay? So, which also is fun because you can make a big one and a little one, and you can combine them, and you can get all kinds of fun little variations. So it's the same pattern, it's the same thing, it's just different size yarn and different size hooks. So for the large flowers, you just have to use a larger hook, okay? So this is the hook that I used for the super bulky yarn, and it is a K10.5 or 6.5 millimeter, okay? So that's this one right here, and the pink and the other ones were the same, okay? For the little ones, I did them really tight, so you can see they're kind of curly, and I used this hook right here, okay, which is the G6 or 4 millimeter, okay? So, and here's the example. So, these are about 3 inches across for each of those, and these are 2 inches across. And this one right here is 2.5 inches, okay? And I used worsted weight yarn for these, okay, and worsted weight yarn for this. Now the difference between these two, this one's 2 inches, this one's 2.5. The only difference is the size of the hook that I used, okay? So for the 2.5 inch, and it lays a little bit flatter, okay, is this size is an H8 or 5 millimeter, okay? So again, the small ones, I use worsted weight yarn, okay? The 2-inch flower, and as you can see, it's a little more curled on the edges, okay? This one, I used the size 4 millimeter or G6, okay? And the 2.5 is also worsted weight, so you can see they're the same yarn. It's just a little bigger and it's more flat, okay? And I used the H8 or the 5 millimeter, okay? All right, so all you have to do now is decide what color you're going to do, what kind of yarn, what size, all of that. So I am going to do another flower just like this, a little bit flatter, okay, a little bit bigger, 2.5 inches with my worsted weight yarn. The yarn I'm using today is called I Love This Yarn, and it's just an acrylic yarn, and it's really soft. I actually do love this yarn. It's really good for a nice cheap acrylic yarn. Okay, so if you are new to crocheting, don't worry, I'm just going to go over everything. So what you want to do is just start off with a slip knot. Oh, and if you're not new to crocheting and you know a better way, please go ahead and comment and say that, because I don't crochet very often, so this is how I started. So if you know a better way, please let me know. Okay, so you do a slip knot, and then you put your hook in through the loop, okay? And I'm going to tighten it up just a little bit. Okay, all right, and then what we're going to do is make a chain of 6. Okay, so I already have 1, so now we're going to do a chain, all right? So we're just going through. So we have 1, now we have 2, And you want to bring it through. 3, and I think the hardest thing sometimes is to make sure you don't do it too tight. 4, and then, oops, see, I'm doing it too tight already. And my thing came up, there we go. 4, 5, and 6, okay? All right, so now I have 6, a chain of 6, okay? Now I'm going to turn it into a circle. Okay, so I'm going to push it through over here, okay, where the tail is, and I'm going to catch my yarn here and just bring it through both of them. Okay, oops, and I made that a little too wide. Okay, there we go. So now I have a little circle, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to single crochet around the circle so that I have something to crochet my petals onto, okay? So you're going to go inside the circle, catch your yarn, and bring it out, bring it through, and then you do a single crochet through both. There you go. There's 1, and I'm going to do 10 of these. So there's 1, bring it through the loop, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm almost done, almost to the end, 9, whoops, okay, and 1 more. I only have hardly any room left on my loop. And 10. Okay, there we go. So now I have a thicker circle. Okay, one that can hold on to those petals. Okay, so what we're going to do is make 5 petals. Okay, so the first one I'm just going to make like an anchor, okay, or the start of my petals. So all I'm going to do is go underneath, so you can see where I've created that single crochet, and you're going to go underneath that single crochet. Make sure you don't go through the center of the crochet, but underneath the whole thing. Okay, so you go through or underneath it, and then you're going to bring one through and do a single crochet. Okay, there we go, just to start that off. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to do the petals. Okay, so we're going to go under, we're going to do triple crochet for the petals. Okay, so triple crochet, so we will go 1, 2, twice around, and then you go underneath the next single crochet. Okay, okay, good. Pull it through. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on my crochet hook. And this is the triple crochet. So then you pull it through the first 2, pull it through, let me loosen it up a little bit, the second 2, I'm going a little too tight, the second 2, and pull it through the last 2. Okay, there we go. So now I have 1 triple crochet and 1 left. So now what I'm going to do is do 4 more triple crochets in the same loop right there, in the same one. Okay, so I go yarn over 2 times, then I go back through the same hole and do it again. So we go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's 2. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Oops. There we go. There's 1. Make sure you go underneath both. 2, 3. So now I have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I wasn't quite under the camera. Okay, and last one. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now I have 5, and it doesn't really look like a petal right now because now we need to anchor it like we did on this first one. Okay, so now we're going to go over to the next crochet, single crochet loop, and we're going to go underneath both, and we're just going to do a single crochet. There we go, and it's anchored. So you can see how it's got that curve, and so we have petal number 1. Okay, and now I am just going to continue doing the petals, okay, in that same way. So now I move over to the next crochet, pull it through, and I'm going to do 5 more triple crochets. There we go. And this loop. And I'm still pulling it just a little bit too tight. So for me, that is the hardest thing, is to not pull too tight when I am crocheting. I always end up pulling too tight, and then I have a hard time pulling my hook through the yarn loops. So you have to make it tight enough that it's not, you know, going to unravel or anything, but loose enough that you can work easily. So, and I'm not experienced enough with the crochet, whoops, to do that solidly. Okay, there we go. So, oops. Okay, there's 3. So 2 more. Oh, I forgot. I'm getting ahead of myself. 1, 2. Into the same hole. Pull it through. 1, 2, 3, and last one into the same hole. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then now I'm going to anchor this petal. So I go into the next crochet and I single crochet it. Alright, so you can see how the flower is starting to take shape. I now have 2 of the 5 petals completed, and I'll go ahead and do the others and then get back to you in a moment. Okay, so I have 4 of the 5 petals completed, so I figured I would show you the last one. So you can see I've got 1 crochet left, okay, to go through. So let me just do these 5 triple crochets real quick. Well, quick, yeah. I know some people can crochet super fast. I am not super fast because I don't do this enough. But I have friends that they can just whip out a doily in about an hour, and I'm just amazed. So if that's you, kudos. That's amazing. Okay, almost there. Oops. Okay, so I have 3. So here's number 4. And I gotta make sure I go through the right loop because I think sometimes I miss it. So, oops, 2, 3. Okay, and then last one. One, 2, and 3. Okay, so now we're just going to do the final. So you want to go in the first crochet, okay, and just do a single. Okay, so there you go. And then you just need to snip your yarn. I'm going to snip it down kind of lower so I have a longer tail. I'll show you why in just a sec. I like to leave it long to give myself some options with my flower. Okay, whoops. And now I can't pull it through. Okay, there we go. So then you just pull it through and tighten it. And there you go. So now we have a nice little crochet flower. Okay, all right, so the reason why I like to leave the tails long is because you can use those pieces of yarn to sew on buttons and beads and whatever, you know, you want to put in the middle, or you can just leave it open. Okay, so whatever you want to do. Have some fun with it. So I'll show you what I've done. So I have like wooden beads on my hat. This one's a nice sparkly button. And And then I also have some just like craft beads that I've put in there as well. So yeah, just have some fun with it. Some of these I've sewn directly on, like on the hat, and others I've put little clips on the back so that you can hook it on and take it off and just use it like a brooch. Okay, so let me know what you decide to do with your flowers and what kind of creative uses you find for them. I'd love to know. So thanks again for watching. Happy creating and have a good day.